Hello everybody, my name is Jordan Skinner. I'm here with Brett Stevenson, Chief Revenue Officer from PayApps. I'm also here with Misty Cronin, Head of Sales for PayApps, and today we have just wrapped up one of two roundtable events where we have been exploring resilience in construction. And we have had 22 people here today in Melbourne, and we had a brilliant discussion around how businesses are focusing on resilience and what they can actually do to improve. And firstly, I want to throw it to Brett. What have been some of the biggest takeaways from the roundtable event so far?
Yeah, I think from really what we've been looking at with the roundtables is getting these construction professionals together, really having open conversation about what are the insights we're seeing in the industry, what are the challenges and concerns we're currently faced with, and really what we're trying to answer as an industry as a whole. So we really wanted to make sure that we have these together and have an open conversation to see how we can move the industry forward.
And Misty, what was the driving force behind doing these roundtable events?
I think in this industry, we really want to show that we are beside builders and we're beside subcontractors and bring them together in a forum that's really near and dear to their heart. And we had an outstanding turnout for both events, and it shows that the topic of resiliency really resonates and it's a uniting theme. So.
Yeah. And you've obviously been to both events.
I did, yes.
How are things differing between, say, Brisbane and Melbourne?
So we held an event in Brisbane, held one in Melbourne, and we'll be having one in Auckland coming early next year. Key themes, one was, how can there be space created for the construction industry to be more proactive? A common theme was people thought they had to be very reactive due to pressures on, financial pressures, on labor, manual processes, a lot of changes and fluctuations in the economy. It drives the industry to be reactive, but making that space to be proactive, and technology is really a key player there. And as companies go through different levels of their maturity, manual processes no longer cut it, and they really have to look towards automation and being able to rely on data and facts. And those are a couple of the key themes that really came through.
So, Misty, in what ways are we seeing technology change the industry and really make things better?
Well, we have commissioned research to really focus in on the topic of resiliency, and there was 4 pillars. The first one that really want to touch on that resonated in the roundtable was talent, attracting and retaining talent. And many people in the construction industry didn't come into it because they wanted to do paper and admin. They have a love of building and creating. I know you have a background in construction, and at the end of the day, the last thing they want to do is drill down and have to do admin. So using technology and making it quick and simple and faster and fairer is something we really pride ourselves in at PayApps for subcontractors and main contractors. The other thing is looking at the element of technology to help money flow faster. That's key in resiliency. Making sure that processes are efficient and there's transparency and visibility. With PayApps, at any point in time, you're able to see the contract position, where claims are, and we have built-in workflows. And I think those kind of examples that give visibility and transparency really can run, the test of time and help companies as they grow.
Yeah. And Brett, I'm going to direct this next question to you. How is PayApps specifically helping people with all these challenges that have been brought up, in the research and also at the roundtables over the last 2 days?
Yeah, and it's a great question. I think as we wanted to do the research into resilience in the first place was really because we could see the issues that were coming in the market. If we think about COVID was really the tip of the spear that was there, but we have these other issues that come around, commercial ones, financial ones to do with interest rates, and other things we're seeing in the industry. And so really PayApps, as Misty said, is really a tool that creates transparency, open, honest communication across the building industry, but also allows us, by making sure software is available and removing those manual processes, it's moving that flow of money better, as Misty had said, but really just making sure as an industry that we understand some of the challenges that are there and really looking to software and technology to solve some of those problems. I think historically we've seen a lot of people where it's been a manual process, and the issues there is that it's labour intensive but very easy to make mistakes, and some of these mistakes can be incredibly expensive and costly for both sides. So really just trying to make sure that PayApps is at the forefront of those discussions, and really the roundtables was not so much just about PayApps, but also about the industry coming together and having a conversation to make sure we're all in it together. and PAYAPS really wants to be supportive of that process moving forward to help the industry grow and continue, in a positive light.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the conversations that we had over the last few days have done exactly that. The feedback that I'm getting from the guests, particularly saying they really love the idea, they love the round tables, they love being in the same room with people that are having the same problems and getting together and trying to figure out whether there's a solution. And at the very least, just know that other people are having the same issues as well, and they're not crazy for having those sorts of issues. So I think you've done really well.